Howdy, SimTheWorld here. We are back with Farming Simulator 19, the Alpine expansion. So I want to give you guys a little update. I know it is still late summer, but this is going to be our early autumn update. So we won't have another video until mid-autumn. But when I was looking for the mod for the silage machine, the TMR mixer, as you can see, I found that there actually was an English version. And there's a little snafu in switching that over. I swapped the mods. They're named the same thing. It's just they changed the names to French, which wasn't a big deal, but they also had changed the capacities. So for the English version, it's actually smaller, so we might have lost some silage, which I don't think is the end of the world. But I moved all the silage bales, I moved all the hay bales, and most of the straw bales over here. I kept about a dozen straw bales for laying the straw out for the cattle, make sure they're all nice and happy. That's the first update. I linked the English version in my last video. Of course, if you search at the same location, the same site, you'll find the French version right next to it. That follows up with our next thing. I ended up replowing and reliming the fields, of course, because of the precision farming and the fact that we had just limed field 4. That means it wasn't a huge upgrade. I think it took maybe 1 or 2 trailer loads of lime just to do field 3. It wasn't a big deal at all. Or I'm sorry, field 4. Field 4 had just been limed, so it only needed a little boost. That is kind of nice in doing that. But if you guys remember, there's this road between field 3 and 4. Do you guys see it anywhere? No, I got rid of it. So this is now going to be field 34. Because I combined it, I figure I end up spraying most of the middle section anyhow. Even though it was like 2 passes long, might as well connect them. There's no reason not to. To be clear, I do like the road up top here. Let me jump over here. There's this path that, goes down, and it basically goes down to our farm, and it follows field 2 here, and it connects up with the little path here, which goes right to the silage drop-off for the train station. So if we ever end up buying field 2, which I think we will next year, this is one this one we'll keep. I don't want to plow through this. This is very useful. This will come in handy for us. Let's start running back. It's a nice divide. It's good to have some division in fields, but at least in this case, because I'm plowing, I'm putting the same crop in, we're doing all the same things. Let's do it smartly. So then this leaves us with the issue. Why isn't this field fertilized and planted yet? Well, this is one of the particular issues I ran into, and I know we discussed it slightly as far as the manure problem. We have over 200,000 liters of manure. And you know what I realized? I forgot we do still have the milling machine. I didn't sell this. So this will fill up anything, any trailer that we have, which means we don't need a belt, we don't need a telehandler with a shovel, we don't need to do any of that. All we need is a good manure thrower, which is why we're doing an episode today, because we're going to spend more money. But that's okay, because it makes so much sense just to use our own manure instead of buying fertilizer. It saves us money, we're all set to go, but we need to spend some money, and to do that I was looking at prices. Let's jump over here real quick. Canola is actually pretty good priced. It's pretty high. I'm going to take it to the supermarket so we get paid instantly instead of Felsburn. And I only think I'm going to take a trailer. Let's see how much money we get for taking a full trailer, and then we'll decide if we need to drop off 2 trailers or not. You never know how that goes. We still have the wheat in there. That's okay. Still have some oat. That's interesting. That would have been from early on. But at $1,000 for every 1,000 liters, we're looking at good trailer load should be about 60 grand here. Maybe 55? I forget how much this holds. I thought this holds 56,000 liters. Oh no, it only holds 45,000. Maybe we'll get 50 grand then. Needless to say, that should be enough to get the trailer for manure I'm thinking about. We are here at the supermarket. I gotta think about how we're gonna get this trailer in here. This thing is massive, and we might need to back this up into the loading dock. See, how good is my reversing skills? Normally I do it with the wheel. The wheel setup is here. But I think, yeah, we got it. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, of course, if I wasn't in a pinch for the money, we would just take it to Felsburn and wait the night to get the money back. But we need it now. Let's go. Okay, 47 grand. That's not terrible. That's a good price. We're going to run this trailer back to the farm. I think that should be enough money. I'll meet you guys over at the shop to look at manure trailers. I know what you're thinking. The manure spreader here is expensive. They want almost $80,000 for it. Well, we'll go ahead and make it 87. This way, this is for price per liter. This holds almost the most that I have. I've installed a few mods. This is a modded manure spreader, but it holds 35,000 liters. It spreads with a 24-meter spray area, and it does take 260 horsepower, so we're going to be pushing the John Deere to its limits, but I think that's all right. We gotta give this John Deere a challenge. I also have to get some gas for it. We're falling behind on that. So that's why you can see we had to sell the canola, and why I wanted to sell it quickly, because to get I don't want to mess around. I want to get a good manure spreader the first time. This is something we'll be able to, especially when the cows start to really increase in volume. We have close to 100 cows right now, and the manure they're producing is enormous. Just the amount that we're getting, I don't know what to do with it all. And this is a solution. We take all those fertilizing contracts, why not use the manure? It saves us money, we get rid of it. I think we'll get more out of the manure doing it that way than we would just selling it, so. And who wants a bunch of manure? There's only so much of that you can sell. Ooh, I want to make mention. You'll notice the workshop here is gone. I was getting annoyed with how cluttered this area was, and of course we needed the extra cash. So it was a win-win. Got rid of it, we sold it, and we have room to maneuver. I'll replace that when we get over there. I'd like to set up the bale storage area, and that's kind of where I want to put the workshop too. But we've got the milling machine all ready to go. Let's turn this on and fill up the new manure spreader. 35,000 liters. I wonder how many trips we're going to have to do with the manure spreader for field 34. Because it is massive, but I know at least the 4 field won't need a lot of fertilizing. It should already be pretty high. We can actually take a look at the precision farming and see what our fertilizer. So this is for the pH. This is based on the lime. We go over to the nitrogen, and you can see the nitrogen's kind of low for field 4 since we just planted. And as far as field 3, I have no clue what's going on here. And typically that should have been all red since we just bought it and didn't do anything with it. I actually want to make sure to close up the milling machine. If you don't do that, sometimes when I move empty containers through there, it will shoot that manure off, especially with that TMR mixer. And that's not a good time. I'm going to open up our little menu here. We will unfold this. Ooh. I think it's opening up the door. It's getting the thrower all set to go. It is set to the automatic application rate, which is what we want. That way there's no issues in making sure we have the perfect amount getting spread. We'll turn this on and start rolling. Zoom out here. See how big that spread is. Ooh. 24 meters is nice. Look at that. And we're not racing through that manure. Ha. Maybe we got a little bigger than what we needed. Oops. That's okay. This is going to be perfect. And we are boosting it up quite a ways. I was expecting to see this a little darker green, but I'm not sure how far we have to go. Maybe once we plant and get a second pass on this field, that will make it look a lot better. I finished spreading all the manure over the entire field. You can see everything's taken care of. The interesting thing to note is some areas are differing on what they take as far as, you can see the manure rate's not going any higher on the lower portion here. There is room to grow, we can manure more, but the application's not dropping it. And I wonder if there's only so much manure you can actually drop on the field. That would make sense. It seemed to be topping out at a maximum spray rate of 80 kilograms per hectare. So I think that's probably a maximum for us. That tells me, though, that I'm going to get this cultivated and we're going to get it planted. I know last year I planted and then sprayed some herbicide over that. I'm going to go ahead and try putting the herbicide before I plant, but after I cultivate, and see if that then makes it so that the weeds don't pop up, because we did have a couple pop up towards the end of the year. That is what the rest of my autumn's going to look like. It's probably going to take me a few days to get this all taken care of, but of course then our field will be ready for next year. That'll give us plenty of time to mess around with the chickens in the spring. So get excited, we're going to be doing a lot more with that. And with this, thanks for watching as I simulate my life, one game at a time. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates to future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch, as I'll occasionally stream live. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.